Welcome, 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 my friends. Hope you're all doing wonderful today. Liam Murphy here, back to rip another big board, my first solo big board of the year. Let's get it, gang. So, I'm here. I'm ready to rip a big board. Longtime viewers of this channel, though, I got some bad news for you. A tragedy occurred the other day. There I was at my computer. I think I was doing some chess work. And yes, the whistle fell. It broke. I bumped the sign, the wires. It really wasn't that well designed by me. I bumped the sign. It bumped the whistle. The whistle broke. It broke. I can still kind of do it. I can maybe super glue it. I'm worried that I get like specks of this in my mouth, but so yeah. That happened. It's a new era. Don't know what I'm going to do with this. Do I glue it? Do I throw it away? The ears fell off. Those weren't needed. So yeah, the whistle's hurt. We're just going to leave it here. Longtime viewers, just wanted to update you on that. I know every once in a while people ask for the good vibe whistle. Still works, Bandit says. Let it ride. I mean, yeah, it works, but it's not quite the same. I guess we'll turn on the on-air sign, even though it hurt me. It hurt me. It caused pain to the soul there. Never been higher, dude. Never been higher. It's 2024. This is going to be the best year of all of our lives collectively. We've all made that decision. You're here. It's happening. What's up, Bandit? Super Snort. Sorry, bro. Or lady. Didn't want to ruin your day, but it's the truth. So I ripped one big board with Davis Maddock. If you haven't checked that out, that's on my channel to check out. I don't really know the rookies at this point. You probably don't know the rookies either, right? Like maybe you listen to a Daniel Jeremiah mock or something. Maybe you're a Bo Nix guy. There is the big board, 200K to first. There is the little board. I looked at the structure in the other drafts. Personally, I'm hoping that we get an end pick so that I can do a little chess study. We can multitask this bad boy, but we're jumping in there. If you want to draft with me, we are filled with the 101. Wow, look at that. And you know what? We're just gonna rip it. Not afraid. We're gonna let the room know we got what we want. We're taking Josh Allen. A little bit of a homer pick there. Is this a good pick? No, certainly not. Is this going to be unique? Yes, hopefully. And whatever. If you haven't drafted your favorite player in fantasy at the 101 at least once in your life, brother, go touch some grass. Go live your life. Josh Allen has been the QB1 in fantasy many years. I don't think he was last year. I think Hurts edged him out. Bill's offense may improve too. I also think the CMC pick and the Tyreek pick doesn't really make sense to me why those two have the top ADPs right now. Both of those are two of the riskier picks at the moment. Hey, we're playing the hits, brother. Hey guys, if you have not subscribed, please do so. We're on the road to 5K. So smash that subscribe button. We're gonna show the board, but we're also gonna do some chess puzzle rush in between our picks. Um, because do we really need to stare at the board? No, we can do this, you know? So I got chess tournament coming up in Valentine's Day week, much to the chagrin of my girlfriend. So I've been grinding my chess. Can K212? I am tempted. We can't really like fit in full games here, but we can do some puzzle rushes. So okay, so we'll try to explain this a little bit. We're attacking this piece twice. It's only defended once, so that's a free piece for us. Okay, the king has issues here. So this is checkmate. We'll check here. And I will recap the board. The king has back rank issues. We insert a check. They must capture. And we do checkmate. Same thing here. Back rank issues. Check. Checkmate. Same thing here. Back rank issues. Check and check and checkmate. Queen to h2, helped by the bishop, is a checkmate. Queen to h2, supported by the knight, is a checkmate. Um, this looks like check, but the queen's got the square covered. So just a check, and the knight's got the square covered is a checkmate. Here you insert a check, supported by your rook, and then you sack your queen. They must capture, and again, a back rank mate. Seen very similar mate patterns here. Here, you do a check, you chase the king away, and then you put your rook down. Again, back rank, get a little checkmate there. These get harder, by the way. Um, just a suffocation mate there with the knight. Okay, check, attacks the king, forks the rook. You win a rook. Um, F5 looks like checkmate. We got these squares covered, pawns covering there. This just looks like a pretty easy queen and bishop checkmate. We are at the turn, if you're wondering. This is a checkmate. The bishop attacks the light squares. Check. King moves. Checkmate. No, no, no. We don't go here because the knight covers that square. So we go here, and then we take the knight. So the bishop's working here. You do check. Mate. Check. Takes. Check. You hit the king. You hit the rook. Oh, whoa. We're out of time. But that doesn't work because the queen covers. Actually, I think it did. We got that one wrong. Check. Check. And you bishop. Uh, checkmate. All right. And we ran out of time. Now let's recap the board. The one we got wrong, I think it was this. I thought the king could move. That's what I was calculating, but the knight comes in. So let's see how the board's going for those curious. Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. CMC, Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, CD Lamb. For the world of me, I don't understand why CD Lamb is the 105. Like this guy should very clearly be. I like this guy's username. One beer, only one beer left. Who hasn't told their girlfriend, their wife that? Brees Hall. I personally think Brees Hall is kind of a risky pick. I don't love the concept of taking two expensive pieces of the Jets offense where we don't really know who the quarterback is. We don't know his health. We frankly have no idea what's going on there. I think this is really great value on Kyron. Yeah, like Nico over Garrett Wilson. I'm going to side with the better quarterback there. I will say, though, and this is going to be an article I write, that, I think this year reminded us or taught us that every offense in fantasy has value. And I've previously been Are the Bills going to get Marvin Harrison Jr.? Absolutely not. No, they are not. Just trying to absorb these ADPs. It's like a fine wine. Where should CD be? Surely ahead of 105. All right. We could take Rasheed. You know, I guess like where does he go from here that makes him a better pick? I would have liked one of these two players a lot more. I guess it's just that he develops as a route runner. Travis Kelsey could retire. I think Olave is pretty good there. I think Metcalf's pretty good there. I think Tank is good. I think the running backs are fine themselves, but we'll figure out running back later. It's hard to go elite quarterback, especially like what I did, which is just skipping over your first pick and be buried at wideout, in my opinion. Now, I'll also say that I personally think it's okay to weight your portfolio if you're volume drafting these to running back starts. So either like dual running back, hero running back. The reason being is you nor me, and maybe you do, don't know many of the rookies and who's going to be in the NFL at running back. So like, yeah, I'm going to be drafting some rookie running backs who I don't know who they are, but I don't know. They could literally be Tank Bigsby's. They could be James Cook's, Yeah, so like CD just feels extremely safe to me, right? And part of what we're looking for at the top of the draft order is safety. A safe, projectable monster, right? Not safe as so yes, I am going to be doing rankings. But what I'm weighing is, do I want to release those rankings before BBM5? Because quite frankly, not a lot of people do the big board compared to something like BBM5. And I don't know if I want my rankings shaping BBM5 rankings, if that makes sense to you, where, like if I think there's inefficiencies in the market with the big board, great, right? Like let those be inefficient. I don't know if I want to make that be efficient, especially for the people who will subscribe to my site, where really the real tournaments we're attacking start in May, and obviously they will change over the course or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to launch before BBM5 starts, basically is what I'm saying. So we'll see. Anyways, yeah, I mean, I think like just spitballing through this, I think guys like Sam Laporta and the other, like the Trey McBrides of the world, they could all be 2-3 turn picks. Is there anything really that different between them and like the Michael Pittmans, other than one gets a wide receiver designation? No. I forget what I was saying before. I think it was about the running backs, but yeah, I don't know. There's a lot different in the market that I'm seeing right now. Mainly that there's not just a lot of like old dudes we're just placing here. The older players we're just placing here: CMC, Saquon, Tyreek, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, Keenan Allen, who might not even be a Charger. But yeah, what CD is one of the safest guys is, I guess, what I was saying. And that to me is why he's in the mix for the 101. If the market just decides it's CMC at the 101 every single time, well, then of course we're going to capitulate to the market there and get some of our CMC shares there. But if you ask me players that are live to disappoint due to wear and tear, mileage on their tires, whatever, CMC and Tyreek Hill come top of mind, both because they're expensive and older. I'm not as concerned about Lamb. Like there's zero concerns with Lamb. What's the concern? They add, I guess, another player. I'm not concerned about Jamar Chase. I think that's a great price on Chase. I'm not concerned about Jefferson, even with the QB issues there. So, oh wow, I didn't even notice Stephon Diggs went in the second round. Here I was hoping he made it back to me at the 104. For the Bills, I think I would take the rookie. Do we do this is we're gonna do this just because it's whatever. We're gonna do the Mahomes, Rice, plus Josh and someone. Okay. Yeah, I don't really love the idea of I mean, whatever. We're getting good value here on Mahomes. This is just not something you've been able to do in the past years, is just get the two best quarterbacks in football, even though Mahomes fantasy wise is not quite there. I guess we'll just take Zay Flowers. Like Odell's probably off that team. We don't know what's up with Bateman. Maybe Mark Andrews does or does not play. And we'll figure out running back. Like it feels bad clicking on that Kamara's and the Josh Jacobs. Ken Walker doesn't feel as bad, but who knows what year 2 looks like of the Charbonnet regime, plus their new coach, plus their new philosophy there potentially. Obviously, we're done at 2 quarterbacks like this. This is not something I'd recommend you do a lot, but whatever. We're having fun here. We got the blue and red, you know? Tanner, brother, I promise you I am not the guy to discuss rookies with you on February 1st. I'm just not. But let's do this. Top rookie running backs 2024. And let's just start clicking. All right, this guy's got Jonathan Brooks. He's 101. This is on PFF. I don't even know who the author is. And then he's got Trey Benson, Blake Corum, Bucky Irving, Audric Estime. And keep in mind, like the combine hasn't happened. All this stuff has not happened. This is potentially nonsense. Let's see what Pro Football Network has here. Marshawn Lloyd as his 10th. This is by Ian Cummings. Braylon Allen. Isaiah Dick. Do I like ADP? No, not really. I'd much rather have the younger ones. You know, my team's we got the running back boomer squad over here. No, this is fine though. He's a bunch of these running backs are young. But all my wideouts are young, which feels good, right? No concerns there. We got quarterback taken care of, so we're obviously going to need to hit tight end. No, I mean, I'm excited for the Bills offense because I think this is finally the year they take a first-round rookie to grow with Josh Allen, which to me is less like you have a young quarterback, an elite young quarterback. You should be drafting wideouts pretty early to try to grow with them throughout their career, unless you identify I'm a boomer. Jesus, bro. Life comes at you quick. I'm 31. Unless you identify like a draft class that like you're just like, this is the year we're getting our wideouts. What the market does with Tank Dell will be interesting. Market's like kind of running back heavy at the moment. Oh, no, he didn't like that I called him. That is he didn't like that I called him out for the squad. I got it. I got you, man. This is the boomer squad as far as age. The 112 here. Trey McBride, I was hoping he made it back to me at the 6th round. I would have taken him there. Yeah, like Trey McBride, 6th round versus Mark Andrews and Travis Kelsey, 4th round. Like, that's not even a discussion. Those are awful prices comparatively, in my opinion. Plus, like, did people watch this season with Kelsey? The Chiefs pretty clearly load managed him somewhat for a playoff run, right? Like, I don't know if he's going to get his flowers in the regular season. I don't even know if he's going to be playing in the. Let me ask you guys a question. You marry a billionaire with a B. Are you playing? Okay, this guy takes Kincaid. He wants some attention. Give him his attention, chat. Obviously, we would have taken him for the stack. Let's just quadruple quarterback it. No, we're not going to do that. What are we going to do, though? I think this guy's like drawing live to go in the first round. So seems like a decent price on a first round rookie. And yeah, I kind of like buying into David Montgomery at this price, getting our first running back. Just getting a piece of the Lions offense feels good. And I would expect Gibbs to get a little bit more work, but Montgomery's still going to be the hammer. We'll have to figure out some Josh Allen stacks, although Josh rushes in so many touchdowns, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I like the tight ends in the 6th round a lot more than the tight ends in the 4th round. No, Tanner, I do not know the rookies yet. I will jump in there and learn the rookies, but usually around the real NFL draft is when I do it because, quite frankly, there's just not that much volume of best ball to be playing before the NFL draft takes place, and it's just a bit of a guessing game. So once the combine happens, like drafting all of your big board bullets before the combine is also not something I'd advise unless like the market is just like really terrible. Why is because like after the combine is when I've got, like in years past, that's when I've drafted a lot of James Cook, who went in the 2nd round. I've drafted a lot of Rashee Rice last year after the combine because he was fast. I drafted Chase Brown. Like, it doesn't always work, right? Like, I've drafted some Evan Hull, too, who got hurt. Quarterback prices also is a pretty interesting discussion because quarterback's really deep. So, like, what I did here is not what I would do a lot. But, I think also sharper people will trend that way. But what will really be interesting is, like, does that push Josh? Like, we already see Lamar and Hurts went in the 3rd round. And Josh usually goes middle of the 2nd, according to his ADP. It might push all the quarterbacks to like the 3rd, the 4th. Seems like the draft starts to dry up as far as like slam dunk picks. I don't know. Like middle of the 5th. Man, 4th round Cooper Kupp, right? Like some of these prices are just terrible. Probably. It's funny you bring up Quentin Johnston because I've told this story before, but it was like the one college game I watched, and I was like, that dude is slow. So I don't think Quentin Johnston was fast in the combine. 10-yard split, especially. I think that's a great price on Tony Pollard. I don't know who Joe Mixon's going to be playing for. Yeah, I don't. This is no offense to you, but this is a narrative I will fade all day. I've already seen it touted about how run heavy Harbaugh's been, you know who else has been run heavy this year? So many teams. The Chiefs have been run heavy at times. The Ravens have been run heavy. We don't really care about the week to week. We care more about spike week ability and also like Colin Kaepernick's not Justin Herbert. Now he did play beside Andrew Luck, but where do you think Pollard goes? I don't know. Probably the Cowboys on the cheap, but I don't know. Doesn't he still have a contract with them? The eighth round is when a bunch of the tight ends of the yesteryear also go. There's really no huge reason why some of these tight ends should have such a gap on these guys either. These are all tight ends I quite like. The Ingrams, Njokus, Fergusons. Brock Bowers, I don't know. I've heard he's very good. Man, running back is just like a big old mystery box. I think we're going to take Kyle Pitts, who played injured this year. Um, and then I could go running back, which is like a safe enough pick, but we're going to go with Hollywood Brown. I think there's some chances the Bills sign him as a cheap speedster option. And if not, he's still a talented wideout. Yeah, Kyle Pitts should get a quarterback upgrade. Let's do Puzzle Rush again, but 5 minutes. It's brutal waiting the whole turn. Okay, again, back rank checkmate. Pawn takes the square. I do need to move this a little bit for me here. Um, this is checkmate. Back rank checkmate. Check. Take. Actually, I have a better idea after this. They have survival puzzle mode. Okay, let's see. Check. That was going to be checkmate. Check. Checkmate. Checkmate. That hung my queen. Check. I didn't need to do the intermediate move there. You only get to get 3 wrong, so I already made a couple mistakes this one. Let's see here. Just taking the knight seems pretty good. Pick up the rook. Okay, you simply or white. Well, we have to stop. No, we can just push our pawn here. Getting this out of the way. Checkmate. Check. Check. Take the rook. I'm gonna be honest, I don't see this one right now. Knight takes e5, captures. This is not supposed to be a hard puzzle. Queen here? No. I don't see it. Like knight g5? I don't know. No. Looking at stuff like that, but that doesn't really seem to work. Well, we're gonna have to figure that one out. Okay. Unfortunately, Khalil Shakir goes two. So solo Allen, just as we drew it up. Gabe Davis almost certainly will not be a Buffalo Bill. Um, yeah, I think I'm just gonna take some running backs here. Chuba probably will be the starter. And Charbonnet's like young, so let's go him. The other ones I know why I got wrong. I straight up don't know the answer to this one. Ah, it's Night Age 4, duh. Getting the night in, threatening a family 4. Okay. Let's see what the board did. After I took Marquise, we got Mike Williams, Jalen Warren, Sutton, J-Mo, Keon Coleman, Romeo Dobbs, Myers, Goddard, DeAndre Swift, Lockett, Caleb Williams, Komet, Dotson, Chase Brown. Really great price on Trevor Lawrence, in my opinion. Pretty great price on Tua. Hawkinson off the injury. I don't know, man. Ty probably drawn live to be in the mix to be the starter. It seems like past round 10 is where we're getting these running backs where it's like maybe they're the starter. Maybe Singletary's the starter. Maybe Chuba is. Maybe any of these guys are. So feels decent. With Pitts and 20 rounds, I'll definitely tack on 2 more tight ends. We got young wide receivers as our core here. We got a running back. We're confident we'll get a bunch of touchdowns. And then we're just going to throw on some more darts. But on chess.com, you can do puzzle. Yeah, Mike Williams is concerning. I don't know. Injured again. You can do survival. And this just lets you go until you get it wrong. So we'll do this. And this allows us to take our time. So the bishop supporting the queen. Attacks the king. It's checkmate. Quite a bit of wide receivers to like in this range too. This is just going to be a back rank checkmate. You take, they take, you take. That's checkmate. Again, back rank mate. This time your bishop supports you. Little right triangle right there. Same thing. Check. The rook goes back. That is the checkmate. Rook and queen make what they call a battery in chess. Take the pawn. I will be making a chess channel, by the way, to do chess specific stuff. Um, take the rook. There's going to be checkmate. Your king attacks these squares, supported with your rook, delivers a checkmate. Rook here is checkmate. Has a name, I forget it though. Take the free rook. The rook blocks. You pick it back up for checkmate. So knight f6, check. The queen gives it cover. King f8, take. Queen h8 chases the king here. Check. And you're going to win this rook, I think. We're on the clock. We'll come back. Yeah, I don't know who half of these players are at this point, but we'll take Dalton Schultz. Just a good tight end. He's always disrespected. And I think that mock had Jonathan Brooks near its top of its names there, so that seems fine to me. Oh, torn ACL in December. Okay, no, we don't like that. We don't like torn ACL in December. I guess we'll take Fryermuth and be done at tight end. So we're taking 3. No, we're not. Let's take Xavier Worthy. Because you are worthy, my friends. Yeah, but knight f6, check. The king can't go here. That walks into a discover check, which would lose the queen. So knight here, king here. We take the bishop. The rook takes. We check on h8. The king can go to e7. We check on g7. The king has to go to e8 or d8. And then we're going to mate like that. So the other tempting move was like h4, just trying to free up this rook here, but this just wins by force. And so, yeah, he sacrificed the rook because that line that I calculated for you guys. And this is just the computer still in the game. You have to calculate in chess. It didn't make you see all of the hard part. Okay, so the knight took here. Your candidate moves in chess are your checks, right? So we got a couple of tempting checks here. One is taking this pawn, probably is going to be the best one. The other is having your rook come down. But when the rook comes down, the king can go here, and you're not winning anything because you're attacked. You can't take here anymore. So queen takes c6. We attack the undefended knight. We get out of a pin ourselves. And also just seems like we're going to be mating. Queen takes. King d8, check. The king could go to e7. Yeah, this is much. And it didn't even make us find anything after. So the king is doing a job defending the rook here that our rook is attacking. And we can chase that king away and stop it from doing its job by going to rook d8, checking the king. If the king moves, we will simply take the rook with checkmate. The knight can block. Then we take, and the same thing happens. So we just chase the knight away, and then these squares are covered, and we will attack these squares for checkmate. This round's got a bunch of players I don't know so far. I think Michael Wilson's a pretty good pick too. Probably no Hollywood Brown. Okay, so knight d6 is simply smothers mate. You gotta know your checks. Let's see. This diagonal is open to the king, and we can put our queen there for a checkmate, and nothing can block it. Check. King goes here. Our rook gets in the game. Um, Queen goes here is a checkmate. This is called a kill box, I believe. Check. The king moves. You sack your queen. The knight takes. Rook takes for a back rank mate. Hope you're noticing that a lot of the answers here are to know your checks. So I'm noticing rook takes, bishop takes, queen c7, forking the king, and the knight would leave us with a winning material advantage. Anything else to consider? Nope, seems good. Simply knight here is checkmate. We're about to be on the clock, so we'll come back. We'll come back to the chess. The reason why I didn't go Freiermuth there is I liked some of the later round tight ends. All right. Well, Michael Mayer is the tight end I liked pretty equally, you know, expecting him just to be a bigger part of the Raiders offense. So we're going to take Michael Mayer and be done at tight end. I think this is a decent price. And then the question is, do we want to take any of these running backs or do we want to take a guy like Zay Jones? How old is Zay Jones? I think he's like 29. Zay Jones will be 29 soon, which is pretty young. Let's do Zay. I don't know if he's still a Jaguar, but with us having two rookies, Spike Week guy, what's his contract? This is how I start learning this stuff. Start looking up the contract. He's got one more year on his contract, but his base salary is $7 million, so he could be cut. But someone should sign him. He's a deep threat at least. That brings us to a 2-3-7-3 with 5 more picks to play with, and I might put them all in running back, or I might take one more wideout. Okay, back to the chess. So you sack your queen for the knight! Exclamation point. The queen takes, and then you have the move knight f4, forking the king and the queen. So the rook simply seems out of squares if we go king g2. Can't go up. We take you. Can't go here. Can't go here. If you take these, the rook is worth 5 points and the knight is worth 3. Yeah, I mean, like even the Patriots offense, which barely had any people worth anything, had like Demario Douglas, for example, or Ramondre. This one just seems like check. The king must go here, and then the pawn supports us for checkmate. So you take, the knight is pinned to the king. You put pressure on the pin piece. They can put a check in or something, but it doesn't matter to us. We just block the check. If they break the pin, we take the knight with our pawn. This is not a big deal. We can block that check with c6. We can block that check with bishop d7. Bishop d7 doesn't work, though, because the queen has discovered an attack on our pawn. So c6 is required. So if they take our pawn, we take their bishop. Check. The knight is attacking this square. You block, and we checkmate you. So king g3. You attack these squares. If the king moves, you checkmate. The rook cannot stop the mate. They can go here, but it would just get eaten. So you gotta know your checks. You gotta know your captures in chess. Seems like these pieces are a bit awkward. So knight d5 attacks the bishop. It attacks the queen. The knight defends the bishop, but the queen needs to move somewhere. It has queen d6 there. If it goes to somewhere like here, we can just take, take, take. Also trying to find ways to get this bishop in the game. These get harder as you go, as you can notice. So knight d5, queen d6. What if we do rook takes e7? The knight must capture. And then we do bishop f4, hitting the queen. The queen moves anywhere. Oh, no, the queen does not just move anywhere. We'll come back to that. Okay, we obviously need some running backs here. So let's get some running backs. Yeah, I think Gibson seems like a pretty good pick. It's like Miles Sanders going to get cut. Certainly, they can't just run that back. Also, Madison was just like so bad. We got Gibson. AJ Dillon was like inactive bad. So I'm a little worried about him too. I don't know who Will Shipley is. Justice Hill's not good either, but like whatever. The Ravens got running back questions, so hopefully Justice Hill is part of that rotation. We got 3 more picks. So yeah, let's calculate this again. Knight d5, queen d6, rook takes e7, knight takes e7, bishop f4, and you have to stay in contact with this knight that our knight is attacking. So the queen, I don't know, goes like here. And our knight attacks the rook. That doesn't seem right. I really feel like knight d5, queen d6. Knight d5, queen d6, rook. No. Let's just play it and figure it out. We would like to teleport our bishop there. So rook takes, knight takes, queen takes. Doesn't seem to work. Knight. Knight check. The queen can't take because our rook attacks. So knight check, knight takes, queen trade takes, and then you pick it up. And that was with check, so that was important. Not allowing them to take our queen. So they're attacking our queen, but knight h6 is a double check, forcing the king to h8. And then you have this cool move, queen g8, exclamation point, The king is not allowed to capture because the knight's attacking that square. So the rook must capture, and then knight f7 is a suffocation mate or smothered mate, trapping the king in the corner. Bishop f7, king e7, knight d5 is checkmate. I think that's Lolly's mate or Epilot mate or something. Yeah. Okay, we're trying to pawn the or queen this pawn, but this bishop's attacking the square. So we can do bishop g4. If the bishop takes, we have h7, and there's no stopping this. We got 3 more rounds here. Don't worry if you're not into chess. I won't be doing chess for all of the big board streams, but it is the off season. Okay, queen c6 is a check. Don't really see what it does for us though. You can't take here because you give him a queen. Ah, queen c6, king moves anywhere. And now you take, and the point is you're covering the queening square. So you gain a tempo, meaning time. And of course, if they push, you can just take. Rook takes b3, takes, and c2 forces a queen on the board. You can't play c2 right now because the bishop covers the square. We're trying to checkmate here, it seems. But we gotta be worried about our own king here. For example, queen c7 would probably checkmate us. So I'm trying to look at rook e1, sacrificing my rook. They take. And that doesn't seem to work because we play queen e4. Rook d8 is the idea that the queen moves and you get checkmate here. But queen d8, queen c7, king b5. Just seems like we're walking into checkmate if we allow that. Maybe we need to do a queen trade? I don't know. Okay. Let's take Abanikanda. Dalvin Cook's out of there as the Jets, so he's probably in line to be the running back 2 behind Breece Hall, which if true is great value. And Ty Johnson might be a Buffalo Bill. But we're going to take one more wide out and just figure it out running back. We're taking Slayton. He's been a great value like so many years running. Yeah, they're probably going to add someone, but we'll take one last running back. So we got Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, Montgomery, Chuba, Charbonnet, Gibson, Justice Hill, Abanikanda. I'm not going to lie. It feels a little light at running back. Rasheed Rice, Olave, Flowers, Brian Thompson, Hollywood, Xavier Worthy, Zay Flowers, Darius Slayton, Pitts, Schultz, Mayer. So I like my tight end room. Love my quarterback room. Don't really love my running back room. Think my wide receiver room's pretty good. And we're going to tack on one more running back. So, yeah, I mean, we're kind of seeing like shades of the past in these drafts with all the running backs being pushed up into the dead zone. But some of these running backs here are probably screaming values. Ah, check should have been the first thing I considered. King G1 is the only move. Check. King H2 is the only move. Check with the rook. King G3 is the only move. Queen A3 is checkmate. It pays to know your checks. Queen F3, I mean. Okay. What the hell's going on here? So if I take the bishop, I get checkmated. Seems bad. So I'd like to find a way to stop getting checkmated here and capture the bishop. My knight's doing a job of protecting this rook. Considering c5, the point being is, I guess the bishop can just take. And I'm not attacking that square enough. So that's not right. Guys, Logan Thomas could retire. I don't know if he should even be drafted. Greg Dulcich, on the other hand, I think is a great pick. Please subscribe if you have not. Also, the link to join my Discord is in the YouTube description below. I guess I'll just start throwing some running backs in the queue. I don't know. Some of these dudes are probably playing football. I mean, there is rook d7 defending checkmate. Bishop. I was going to say bishop e3 and I can take this pawn, but that's not even good. That's just awful. And also they have bishop c5. But just b6. b6 in the... Now b6 gets mated. Well, b5 attacking the queen. The idea is we're trying to get the queen off. Queen b6. B5, you attack the queen, and now when you attack the bishop, you're defending your king. That was a hard one. Taysom Hill, quarterback. This guy has a team of Dak, fine. Bryce Young, yeah. And then Taysom Hill, QB3. Yeah, I mean, my assumption with a bunch of these teams is they could bring in a rookie. Whatever. Ty might be on the Bills, and therefore correlation. So that brings my team to Josh and Pat, Montgomery, Chuba, Charbonnet, Gibson, Justice Hill, Abanikanda, Ty Johnson. Doesn't feel great in the running back rotation. Rice, Olave, Flowers, Brian Thompson Jr., Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, Zay Jones, and Darius Slayton. Maybe one too many wideouts. Pitts, Schultz, Mayer. Perfectly great team there. I'm going to finish up this thing until I get it wrong. I'm going to go for my high score. So if you want to stick around for the chess, you're welcome to do so. Otherwise, thanks for watching the video. Okay. So queen here attacks the rook, but you can just defend it. I mean, this is not just like a checkmate in one. I don't understand what's hard about this puzzle. Check. You're attacking all these squares. You're attacking this square. You're attacking this square. And it's literally a mate in one. So I guess it's just that a lot of people do the wrong mate first. Okay. So check takes queen g4. Yeah, but then they just play queen f6 and defend. How about check takes queen h6? And now if you play queen f6, we take your queen and it's pinned to the king. Check takes queen here. Yeah, it just seems good. 35. I think my high score on like I've barely done this, but I think my high score is like 39. There's like ratings next to the puzzles here. So like that last puzzle was a 1900. The first puzzle I did was a 200. It seems like we're trying to go for checkmate here. C5, king a4, bishop c2 forks the rook and the king. Seems good. Also, taking the rook is good, but checkmating the king is better. So that's the temptation on that puzzle. Okay, knight d5 attacks the queen, attacks the bishop, and the rook's already attacking there. So that seems just like a winning move. Don't really know what else there is to consider. I guess it's knight d5, queen takes b5, check. But then we have this move c4 supported by the rook. And we're still winning this bishop. You could sack the queen, but now you're done. Yeah, I'm hoping to launch my chess channel next week to review my tournament games and teach the game of chess, which I used to be a chess teacher. If you're not familiar. Um, okay, so if we play rook h8, we're threatening checkmate. They can try f3, but we play g3, take away the escape squares. Just seems over. Knowing your checks solves a lot of puzzles. All right, let's look at it. Check one runs into this. We also got major worries about our own king here. Queen takes f2, queen g8, rook g7, blocking the check, queen e8, king goes up. There's no more checks to our king, and now we are threatening rook h1, king goes here, h5, checkmate. But seems scary, so let's see. Rook here, rook h1, and rook h1, king g2, and there's just nothing to discuss because we don't really. How about rook h1, king g2, rook h2, captures, queen takes, check, king h3, and it still seems like we're running out of checks. So let's just double check. Queen takes f2, queen g8, rook g7. You can sack your rook, but that doesn't work. Our queen takes. So queen e8, queen g5. And white has no more checks. Yeah, this is taking with the king. I don't think is as good because they get in like this. So I think we just take that. All right, this is going to be our record. Also, you can get, I think 3 wrong before you're kicked out. So clearly, I've never spent a lot of time on this. So the point is, if you take, then they have h2, and you're not stopping them from queening. So how about knight d7? This doesn't work. So how about takes, h2, check, king moves, rook h8. And I think they have this rook a1. We're in time to stop the queen, but even if we're not, these two knights supported, or these two pawns supported by the knight, I think are going to queen and win. So it's using the check to get the tempo to get behind the passed pawn where rooks want to be. And it didn't make us convert. It just wanted us to understand that. This rook is loose. So if we could get this bishop out of the way and not have it go here or here, we'll win it. So knight takes e4, check. Rook takes, bishop takes, or knight takes, bishop takes, rook takes. So that wins a pawn at worst. Because knight takes, their best move is just to move their king. But then we could take this guy too. So the material is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Knight and bishop. Yeah, it's just strong. And notice that our pawn is protecting our bishop, so they don't even win our bishop. The bishop is checking our king. We are trying to deliver checkmate. So we need to get out of the checks, or we need to sack our rook. Yeah, rook takes d6, rook takes d6, queen f4, checking the king and attacking the rook. Is just a winning endgame. Queen and 3 pawns versus rook bishop. Queen's worth 9, rook's worth 5, bishop's worth 3. So you would think that 3 plus 5 is close enough to 9, but in reality, no. The only question is there anything better? Like king g1, we get checkmated. Queen h3, we probably get checkmated too. So yeah, we just need to simplify this. Check. King g6. Check. Sacrificing our rook. The king can capture. Check. King must go back to g6. Queen h5, checkmate. Checkmate seems good. Oh, the only check, pawn takes, queen check is also checkmate. So our bishop is a monster. The question is, can we get away with queen c3 threatening checkmate? Queen c3, queen d8, rook takes, rook takes check, king goes here, check. Gets complicated. Queen c3, sack the queen. The rook takes, the rook takes. Yeah, this is just winning. And the point is, your rook's not defended, but you don't care about that because you'd be checkmating them. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see that. Checking us and disconnecting our pieces. So the question is, how do we get a check? I don't even know why this works anymore because king h7, queen takes. And we have a3. I guess the point. Yeah. If they had taken our free rook, we play a3 and mate was unstoppable. Okay, so how about rook takes knight, rook takes queen, rook takes knight, rook takes, bishop takes, rook takes a3, rook takes, take the queen, you take us, you get checkmated. Yeah, this team's winning. That was a hard one. We're at 44. Okay. So the question, we're trying to get a queen here. And white has 3 pawns, which the king cannot stop by himself. And this guy's controlling these two. So there's 2 things we need to calculate. The first thing we need to calculate is king takes c4. And the white king's not going to move, because if it moves to b1, which it has to, then we get into king b3 and c2 would checkmate. So king takes, let's just say they go for h4. Now, promote queen sack, king captures, king b3. No. Take h4, sack, takes, king d3, king c1, c2, and we've made no progress. So now how about queen takes, now we take. This go back. So clearly I'm missing something here. I'm going to spend a minute or two calculating. Need to try to get my king to one of these 2 squares to escort this pawn. Ah. No, I don't. King takes h4. King b4, h5. King A3, H6. King A2, H7, promotes with queen. So we're in time to promote. The other thing to look at is king takes H4, king B4, H5, king A3, and now he goes king B1. But that we already looked at. Then we go king B3, and we're threatening checkmate. And the point is, we promote with check, or he wastes a tempo. So he's not one turn away, and our queen will get him. All right, we're at a perfect 45 out of 45 right now. Now the puzzles start getting hard, and we're losing all our viewers. Big surprise that the fantasy uh, people don't want to watch chess. Check. Yeah, this check looks pretty devastating. We're down significant material, is what we should notice. So check, bishop must block, check. It's just checkmate. It's a simple mate in two. Um, we're both trying to get a queen. So c5, c5, king f4, c4, king e3, c uh, c3. Yeah, we're just faster. 2 versus 1 makes it pass pawn. We simply take here. Our knight is it? Their knight's attacking our queen. It's also threatening to fork our king and rook. So if we go take, take, king here, we get both knights for the rook, which is usually winning. And I think the key thing there is take, knight check. You have to go king e7, take, rook takes. The reason being is because once they play rook d1, your bishops are on the same line. So if you go king f7, you move one bishop, you lose the other bishop. So we got that at a minimum. And yeah, I think that's just the answer. Noticing that the bishops would be in the same line, though, after the exchange was the key there. Okay, what's going on here? Bishop c4 just seems like a tempting move. Attacks the queen. Bishop b5 is a check, but they can just block it. Queen a4 is a check, but they just take it. Knight b5, exclamation point. I attack your rook, right? And if you take my rook, well, then I do knight c7, forking your king and queen. So you can't do that. So knight b5, you just lose your rook. So you have to defend this. And I don't think this doesn't do anything for us. Now you can see that we're having to calculate a couple moves to get these right. And if you're just tuning in, I'm just doing this until I lose. Okay, our king has got serious issues. So that's something to know. Knight takes e6, attacks the rook and the queen. But knight takes e6 just doesn't feel that safe. And what I'm noticing is I can do queen takes e8 or d8. King takes, knight takes, forking the king and queen. I pick up the queen, and that leaves me with a rook, a knight, and a bishop, and 4 pawns versus 2 knights and a bishop. So I'd be up 2 points of material, and that's enough to win. So just simplifying the game here. I think, I mean, you might even be losing if you don't do that. Well, we got a couple checks to look at. Rook E1, bishop E7. Got a pin here. Rook E1, bishop E7. Rook E1, bishop E7, and then just queen E2. And how do you defend that bishop? You don't. And so you can't castle. It just seems like strategically winning. Got our first one wrong. So we'll go and look at the answer at the end before I end the stream. Queen trade offered. I'm noticing that is a double check though. Check. King G7. Check. King D7, Rook D7. King takes F6. Queen H4. Just seems good. No, he didn't even make us do that line. So now can I go take, knight here, and take the bishop? No, we're down too much material, so I can't get away with that. Check. No, I was not right there. Queen takes king d1, queen takes king c2. Or take. Well, we got our best one, but we got 3 wrong in a row. So gonna look at the answers to those 3 and then get out of here. Now we get in here. Now we get in here. Makes sense. This one just required a lot of calculation. I missed a easy check. That pins us. Checkmate. Honestly, I could have solved those. Just castling? Castling, the threat here is too strong. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this big board draft and chess. See ya next week. Peace.